What's up, guys? Welcome to a new video of Fishing with Hunter. Today I want to be explaining what I think is the top 5 spring bass fishing baits, and what I like to use for like springtime, like early spring. I'm going to be telling you what time of the day to use this, and yeah, let's get right into it. In this video, I want to be telling y'all what I think is the top five baits for spring bass fishing, and I'm going to start out with number 5, which I think is like the worst on my list, but it's obviously not the worst because it made my top 5 list. But anyway, I'm going to start out with the spinnerbait. Me personally, I don't catch very many fish on spinnerbaits, but I know a bunch of my friends that do. So that's the only reason I put it on my list. So I don't really have very much information on spinnerbait for you because I cannot stand them and do not like them. Our next bait is going to be the square bill. This is my number 4 bait. It only works good in certain like locations. It's mostly for like if you're around wood, you can hit it off. You can hit the bill off wood. That's why it's square, so it don't get caught on anything. And it'll bounce off and you can get right up next to wood. You can use this really any time of the day. It doesn't really matter what color you're going to use, but I mean, I wouldn't use like purple or something because that's not going to work that well. But if you use like anything like chartreuse or like silver, that's going to look like a shad or whatever you want to make it look like. But I would just use common colors and lures for your square bill. You can use them really any time of the day that you're going to. It just depends on the heat. Like if it's going to be like 60 degrees all day, then you can use it really any time. But if it's going to be like 100, then I probably wouldn't even go fishing. But if you did, you probably don't want to use a square bill. So let's go ahead and go to our next bait, which is going to be our frog. And I'm putting this 3 just because the reason it ain't higher, because it's one of my favorite baits, is because there's not a very big window of time that you can use it. You can only use it like at sunrise or at sunset because you can't really use any top water bait in the middle of the day. It's just not going to work. On some frogs, they have really long like tails, so I usually trim mine because I don't like them being that long, and they usually just rip off if they're that long. So I usually trim them to like halfway, depending on how long they are. And it doesn't really matter what color your frog is because they're not really going to see it. They're just going to see the bottom. So I would recommend using like a white bottom or like a yellow or green bottom. It's going to look like a frog. If there's lily frogs and not lily frogs, but lily pads around where you're fishing, then I would this is what I would use, because any other bait's really going to get tangled up unless it's a top water. But frogs live in lily pads, so this is probably what I would use in lily pads anyway. Alright, so let's get to our next bait. This is what I think is the second best bait in the springtime and really any time of the year. But I think it's this is one of my favorite baits, and it's going to be like either like the dinger or just like the stick baits. So you got like Gary Yamamoto Senkos, Yum dingers, and like there's Big Bite baits. There's all kinds of brands that make it. Almost every soft plastic brand is going to make a dinger or stick bait, whatever you want to call it. And I usually pair them with a 3/0 hook or a 4/0 hook, depending on how long they are. And my recommended colors in like the dingers or the stick baits are I would probably use like June bug, black and blue, or watermelon red, green pumpkin. There's all kinds of different colors, but that's probably what I would use. Or you could use like baby bass, get a color. There's all kinds of different ones. So yeah, that's the main colors I would use. Let me think of what else about these. Yeah, they're really cheap. You can get like these. You can find them on sale for like $1.50 a pack, or you can get. I wouldn't recommend getting the Gary Yamamotos just because they're like $7 a pack, and they're no different. They have a little bit better quality, but not for $5 more. I'm not paying that per pack. So I recommend just getting like Big Bite baits or the Yum brand. I think they all work the same really. So yeah, that's all for the Big Bite baits. Well, also you can use these really any time of the day that it's not smoking hot. I recommend using them at like sunset or sunrise. That's the best time to go bass fishing, in my opinion. But you can really use them any time of the day, but they're going to work better in the morning or at sunset. My last bait that I recommend is the baby Brush Hog. I don't really like the regular Brush Hog, because it's too big. So I recommend getting the baby Brush Hog. And my favorite color is watermelon red. But there is plenty other colors that you can choose from. I usually pair these with a 3-rod or 4-rod hook, depending on where I'm fishing and what size the bass are in there. So yeah, that depends on what determines the size of the hook I would use for baby Brush Hogs. If you can use these like in the name baby Brush Hog, so you can obviously use them around brush and wood and sticks and stuff like that. That's what they're good for, and they're usually weedless as long as you rig them right. I usually use them on a Texas rig, but there's plenty of other ways you can use it. You can use it wacky. I probably wouldn't though. I'd recommend using the Texas rig. And these are a little bit more expensive than what the dingers are or the Cincos, but they're still only like, these are only $4 a pack, and I would just go ahead and get it from the Zoom brand, because they usually have a lot of good sales, and I like their brand. And the rest of the versions are not really, they're like, I mean, they're not bad, but they're like knockoff versions. So I'd recommend just getting the Zoom brand. That's just gonna be $4 or $3. It just depends on where you're getting them from. If you get them from like Academy or Walmart, they're gonna be like $3. But if you get them off of like a tackle store, they're gonna be a little bit more, just because most stuff is from there than what they are from the big box stores and stuff like that. So yeah, this is my #1 spring bass fishing bait. And I hope y'all do well this year bass fishing. I feel like the spring is going to be a good season, and you're going to have time to do it because it's coronavirus. So I hope y'all have good luck all year, and tune in for the next video. Like and subscribe.